Leading this bulletin, Prime Minister Commodore Voreqe Bainimarama has lashed out at the Pacific Islands Forum in what he describes as wrongful use of its influence. Bainimarama says that in the true spirit of regional unity, it is now time for Fiji to be accorded full participation in the Pacific branch of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Group. He told leaders from 13 participating regional countries attending the Engaging with the Pacific meeting today that without Fiji, negotiating an economic partnership agreement with the European Union will be difficult. Our Western reporter Nadi with the details.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama said that in the spirit of regional unity, it is also time Fiji needs to be accorded full participation in the Pacific branch of the African, Caribbean and Pacific, or PSIDS group. He says Fiji's exclusion from the Pacific Islands Forum and the influence the forum has on these institutions has seen the Pacific voices weaken without her participation.
The Pacific Islands Forum has wrongly used its influence to bar Fiji from top-level participation in this forum. This policy is no longer sustainable. There is too much at stake for us all, such as PACP's negotiation of an economic partnership agreement with the EU.
Bainimarama says Fiji's neighbors are now beginning to realize what others have known for a long time. That is, government's objectives are not just words, but commitments they have steadily meeting since their first day in government.
This is a great moment in Fiji's history because we are building a fully inclusive and democratic society. We are engaged in a massive voter registration drive and have begun consultations for the drafting of a new constitution.
The two-day meeting, which will end on Saturday, also saw the Deputy Secretary for the Ministry of People's Charter for Change and Progress, Edward Tunindau, and Attorney General Ayaz Syed Qayyum detailed to leaders the constitutional process and the way forward for Fiji.
You will note from that schedule that in fact Fiji is ahead of the timelines that it had put for itself. In that schedule we were to commence the constitution consultations by September of 2012. In fact, that has already commenced, so we are a few months ahead of that.
Heads of states and representatives of heads of governments heaved praise on the work carried out by Fiji in taking her to the polls and to democratic rule in 2014.
I would like to say that Vanuatu will give all its support to see that all that Fiji is trying to do will be achieved. And we'll see what we can do. And I would like to say that we see Fiji, he was a Prime Minister and the nation is standing tall at the moment.
The meeting continues on Denarau tomorrow and will end on Saturday. Fiji 1 News.